Dear participants and colleagues, I will now speak briefly, for 6 minutes only, about coconut hybrids.
We saw that in the case of the coconut palm, the term hybrid is defined in its widest sense as the result of a cross between population, families, or individual palms belonging to different varieties. Hybrids are not foreign varieties, imported, and unsuited to local conditions. Hybrids are mostly made by crossing two varieties that have been present in the country for hundreds of years or more. It's easy to teach farmers how to create hybrids from varieties already present in their fields and gardens. It can be a juicy business to produce and sell hybrid seed nuts, in particular in countries where official agricultural services produce few or no hybrids.
There are three main types of coconut hybrids. Ranked by order of today's economic importance, they are named dwarf crossed by tall, tall crossed by tall, and dwarf crossed by dwarf, so D by D hybrids. In the future, hybrids will be created using compact dwarfs as parents. Those will probably take on great importance. In scientific papers, hybrids are often designated by the international code of their parental varieties, such as MYD by Watt. The first variety code cited designates the female parent. MYD is the abbreviation for Malayan yellow dwarf. The second is the male parent. Watt means West African tall. Regulations about hybrids' commercial names have yet to be established. For instance, the hybrid MYD by Watt bears the commercial designations of PB 121 in Africa, Mawa in Asia, except in Thailand, where it is known as Sawi hybrid number 1.
Imagine you succeed to find the most performant coconut hybrids, which is quite difficult in the Pacific region. If you plant them, and forgot them, leaving them alone with Mother Nature, without caring for them, and without bringing them any kind of fertilizers, and picking up all the nuts, husk and leaves, these hybrids will only produce well for the first 15 to 20 years. Then your soil will probably be depleted, emptied of its mineral and organic elements. Hybrids are very powerful varieties, able to draw large amounts of mineral elements from the soil to ensure high production. Hybrids could be compared to luxury cars. Can you hope that a luxury car consumes as little fuel as the smaller ordinary car model? There is a special age when hybrids are more fragile than tall-type coconut trees. This usually occurs between 4 and 7 years after planting. At this age, the hybrids, if well planted, are already covered with hundreds of fruits. Their root system is not completely implanted. At 5 to 6 years, most of tall-type coconut palms produces only large stem and leaves. They bear no or only a few fruits. If you are really unlucky and if a cyclone or a very severe drought occurs just during this period, the hybrids will suffer more than the talls. Some hybrids may even die while the tall type will survive. Since hybrids produce much more, it's worth planting hybrids. The best is to grow different kinds of varieties in your coconut plantation. This will spread the risk of hazards. It will allow you to make your own ideas about your varietal preference. Do you want to enter and participate in modern agriculture? Or do you want to continue only traditional picking?
Please, agricultural decision makers and officers, do not try to think instead of coconut farmers. A training on coconut production and seed systems in the Pacific region was organized in 2018. 30 participants from 15 countries and territories in the Pacific agreed on 24 regional technical recommendations. A very important recommendation is about planting material. National agricultural services should allow farmers a primary role in making their own varietal choices. They should consider advising against farmers growing only a single coconut variety. At the national level, agricultural services and other stakeholders should provide farmers with a range of at least 6 different coconut varieties, including tall, dwarf, compact dwarf, hybrid, and eventually composite varieties. They should explain to farmers the specificity of each variety, regarding environmental adaptation, and cultural practices. To reduce overall risk, Farmers should be encouraged to plant more than one variety. Local stakeholders should be encouraged to become more involved in supplying quality germplasm. Farmers and other stakeholders should be taught how to autonomously produce quality seedlings of hybrids and other varieties, using the polymotu concept or any other accepted method. Pay attention. In some Pacific countries, the National Agricultural Service is sometimes encouraged to plant only tall-type coconut palms. This is not linked to respect for tradition. This results mainly from ignorance and laziness. In fact, it is even mostly out of laziness and incompetence. Producing hybrids is labor-intensive. This requires careful monitoring. It is easy to see when technicians work badly in the seed gardens. Illegitimate plants can be easily detected and counted by using the color of the sprout. Some national services have become incapable of properly managing seed gardens. So, it's much easier to tell the farmers, "Get by with your tall-type coconut palms." Thus, they condemn their farmers to underdevelopment.
Dear participants and colleagues, thank you for listening.